So, amidst all of the hoopla and the crowds and the cosplay of New York Comic Con, there were two big stories on the business side, especially for independent and emerging creators. The first one is that there seems to be signs of life in the direct market. ICV2 and another media outlet, Prana Marketing, both posted stories or had presentations that showed that comic book sales are actually up in the direct market as of 2025. Comics Hub, a POS system used by some comic book shops, showed a 27% growth in 2025, and Manage Comics, another POS system used by different comic book shops, showed 18% growth. Now, if you are not familiar with what a POS system is, because you have not been blessed to work in retail, a POS system is basically a point of sale system. It is hardware and software used to actually track sales to consumers. Now, in the comic book industry, these numbers are important because we cannot rely on the orders that comic book shops make to publishers in order to determine sales. Because while those are actually sales to the publisher, because they are non returnable in the direct market, those sales do not actually show how many units the comic book shop actually sold. The comic book shop could, for example, buy 100 copies of an issue of X-Men, sell 5 of them, and they still have 95 copies that they now have to put into back issues or in storage, even though they bought 95 issues. So the point of sale system is kind of used to be a more accurate determiner of how many people actually bought the comic once the comic book was published. Now, point of sales data like this is not 100% accurate because it only takes a sample of the overall comic shops. I believe both of these POS systems are sampling about 10 to 15% of the overall market. But because of the way comic book shop numbers work and because of the way comic book sales work, these are kind of the best numbers that we have to work with. So this is still good news.